Hi friends, it's Deanna Williston on this rainy day. I hope that you are doing well. The temperature is supposed to take a complete drop here. We're at the beginning of fall, I believe. So it's been rainy. If you hear that, I am outside. But I wanted to get to you with another talk. Super simple, just getting you used to the ideas. Talk about Gregorian chant. Remember, please, this is so introductory. It's ridiculous. But it's simple things that we need to think about, or that you've been curious about when you've been seeing some Gregorian chant appear in various, church documents, bulletins, guides, whatever. You may have seen some of these and you're super curious, but what I'm here to say is it's not a big deal. I want you to be able to look at this, know what it is, and then listen for it from the choir, especially if you have, or to ask a choir director about. These are just things to be aware of. They're not things that we're probably going to get on our own, just to be aware of. Okay, let's see if I can do this at all. Dots. You may have seen a dot. So these, it's so funny, this chapter of the Parish Book of Chant wanted you to know that this is about expressed length, and it's all relative, which is why I'm saying you can't really do it on your own. It's something that you're going to have to learn. So if you're not in a choir, a thing you could do, there's an app called OneNote, or you could listen to some recordings that people have made as well while you're looking at the music, or ask if you can sit in on your church's choir practice, something like that. You're going to want to be able to see these dots or whatever, the bars, whatever, and hear it as well. And you're going to kind of pick up what they're doing, but it's expressive, and so you need I feel like you would need a choir director to tell you how you're going to express this. A little bit harder on your own, so you may also want to check out Veronica Brandt. She's quite the expert on it, and she has her own YouTube channel. And although I did manage to say Veronica that time, not my little great niece Victoria, she's doing fabulous. She was a super preemie, and she is doing so wonderful. Every time I say Veronica's name, I almost say Victoria because I'm just so excited about the little darling. So the first thing I want to get into is the dot. The dot basically makes a note into double its length. And you often see it before a bar. We're going to get to bars later. Not that kind of bar, friends. No. You don't see dots outside that kind of bar, but you might see it right before a bar, which we're going to look at down here. So what does it do? It doubles the length of a note. That's all I want you to know. I'm not going to tell you more than that. I want you to go look at a piece of music, listen to that being sung, and kind of listen for that note, how they use it. It's expressive. It's not like we have now where a quarter note and a half note is double a quarter note, right? And then a whole note is double a half note. It's not like that. It's more expressive. So I want you to be able to look at it and then listen for it. That's all we're doing. Bars are used a little bit differently. These are horizontal. Oops, I didn't really mean to say bars. Maybe I'll say dashes. I'm purposely not giving you the correct words because I don't want you to get hung up on that. It is a horizontal line. You see this horizontal line is here. It's here. Oh, I didn't even draw it in this one. And this one goes over all three. What does all this mean? It's going to tell you that there's going to be a slight pressure difference, that there's going to be a slight lengthening difference. It is not an accent like we would see that we're used to seeing in our Western hymns. This is Western, so I never know the correct term to say there. It's also, the Parish Book of Chant tells you to learn the melody before you try and add these horizontal line not accents. Before you try and incorporate what this means, learn the melody first, because remember, it's an expression. It's meant to be expressive. It's not a set lengthening or set accent. It's you're going to have to listen. Again, you're going to want to get a piece of music and then listen to somebody professional singing it. It may be over one night or many. If it's over many, its effect on those notes is going to decrease as you move right to left. It's going to decrease its effect. That's very interesting and unusual, but it makes total sense because it's expressive. It's not a set amount of time, a set amount of pressure. It's expressive, so it's going to decrease over time. Okay. What about if you see a line going straight up and down? It does not affect the length. It does not affect the stress, and it's merely a guide in complicated groupings. What does that mean for us? It means get a piece of music, go and listen to it done, and then see how it's used. You're going to have to get a feel for some of this. And so I know people have been hung up on this. I've talked to some friends who've watched my earlier videos, and they still want to know what all the other symbols were. And the thing is, the average person in the parish pew is not going to need to know most of this, but it's distracting to you not to know it, so I wanted to give it to you just in the simplest, most broken down form I can. Now here is our simple little do clef, and notice our do clef looks like two of these square notes kind of joined, right, in an arc, with an arc, almost an arc, not quite like a flat arc. It should be like somebody sat on it there. That's better. So then we have four, our staff here has 4 lines. That's kind of important for this. It's going to help you remember. So see, this bar is covering one of those 4 lines. It's a quarter bar. It's normally written out, but I thought the fraction would help you remember. So it's a quarter. It's only covering one line, one of the 4. So it's 1/4 bar. It's a quarter bar. This one covers 2, and notice how it's in the middle. They've centered it. It's a half bar. It's covering half of the lines. Okay? I know you probably expected it to come down halfway or something. No, it's covering. You could have said it's the 2/4. 2/4 reduces to 1/2. It's a 1/2 bar. Now this is a full bar, right? It's a full bar. It covers all of it. And then there's a double bar. And we probably think we've seen things like that in our modern music, right? Okay, here's the thing. These are both, though, they're not just a break in the music. They almost serve as a rest. Again, I'm going to want you to get a piece of music that has these and listen for how they're used. They're not used the same way, friends. So they may indicate that while you can take a breath there, you can't change the rhythm of the song. You need to just kind of snatch one. And, less of a snatching as you go along, I'm imagining. But again, just be aware that they are different strengths of bars, I'm going to say. And again, I just want you to be aware of them and know that those are all bars, but this is the most extreme of them. This is the least of them, right? And so now we're going to get a piece of music that has them, and we're going to listen for that spot and see how it's used in the music. Now, there's also an asterisk. What? I know my parish often uses asterisks now to mark in a prayer, a spoken prayer, where you need to take a breath. So you're thinking, well, okay, if there's an asterisk in the music, that's where I'm going to take a breath. The asterisk, according to the Parish Book of Chant, is actually marking something like the Kyrie, where the cantor may say a line and then you repeat it. It's marking that in-between spot when the cantors end and the response is beginning. That's according to the Parish Book of Chant. So again, I want you to get a piece of music that has an asterisk in it and listen to it and see what it sounds like. Friends, this is just a super simple exposure. Do not take my word for the gospel truth on any of Gregorian chant, but I want you to get out and let's see here. It's under, I'm making several videos in a row, so I have things I was showing you there a second ago. So I am back on page, where did those start? Probably start on page 175. Back on page 171. It covers many pages and they go into much more depth, but we're not a choir, most of us. We're just parishioners trying to figure out what we're doing. And so it comes from the Parish Book of Chant. A new collection of Gregorian chant is by the Church Music Association of America. Is there an actual, I think the cover looks a little different. I put it on the back. And you can actually order that in hardback as well. I'm not sure if it's still by Aquinas and More Catholic Books. I think there's somebody else that carries it as well. I think that's it. And remember, it actually has a lot of the music in here. So if you go online and get this for free, which you totally can, I'll put the links in there for you, you're going to have your piece of music. Now, here's a complicated thing. If you're looking at the music, like Tantum Ergo is in here. Let's go to the table of contents. Bear with me for just a second. I didn't have this part prepared. You're going to say, well, I love singing Tantum Ergo, so I'm going to look for that. Actually, let's go even quicker because I should have marked where it was. Now I feel committed to it, and then I'm going to panic. I saw the Pater Noster was over here on page 16, so let's see what that looks like. Page 16. Page numbers are on the outside upper corners. Aha! There is only one version for the Pater Noster. Very nice. So this is a good one to try, perhaps. You can see, look. Here's our... there's one of our quarter bars. There's a half bar, full bar, half bar, quarter bar, full bar, quarter bar, full bar. Oh, we come over here. Da, da, da. You see, we don't have the double bar until the very end of this one. Okay, so then we're going to listen to that. There's only one version for that, so that's nice. Some of them, though, let's just flip to the back, see if I can find this. Aha! Here is one that says like Credo 4. That's probably Credo in mode 4. So if you're finding a recording, you're going to want one that says Credo 4. That 4 is important, and you're going to want to kind of match that up if you can. Most of them are pretty standard, but there's still people writing some parts out there. Oh, here's Tantum Ergo. So this one has mode 3. And let's see if there's another one. Sometimes they'll give you more than one in a book. And so that's what you need to look for. No, they only have mode 3 here. This one is one that gets done in a lot. Oscillator's Hostia, which I may be pronouncing wrong. 7. What most parishes sing is not actually the Gregorian Chant version. I want to say it's not King. It starts with a W who wrote it. And so it's not actually Gregorian Chant. So you're going to get really messed up, but you're going to see pretty quickly that there's no way this is the tune that you know. You're going to figure that out. And does this one have dots in it? It does. So look here. It has our vertical line underneath, so we can listen for that. Here's our quarter bar. Look what's right before it. A dot. So we can listen to this. This is a recording that's done a lot. It's just not the tune that's familiar for most people from benediction if you're not in a Latin Mass community. And again, here's that vertical line. Here's a half bar. So they're all in here. So find a tune. It can be helpful to find a tune that you know in here. See that it matches up with the recording you're listening to. And then check out what these are. Oh my goodness, friends. There are so many of those vertical, not accent marks, vertical lines under notes in it's Tantum Ergo, but Tantum Ergo is just a part of Pangue Lingua. And so look here. Look at how many of those little vertical lines. This one's a lot. Doesn't look that complicated, but what are all those lines in there for? Friends, we're going to have to get out and listen. Ooh, so exciting. I hope you're excited. I hope this is helping you participate more in the music, helping you to engage in listening. And I'm going to try and make one. Somebody was talking about Tantum Ergo. What happens, as my friend Joanne was talking about, you always look at the English or the vernacular, whatever your language is, vernacular language. You look at the translation, you're like, oh, it's so beautiful. I want to sing it. And when you sing it and it's not in Latin, it doesn't feel the same, does it? So maybe we'll take a video where we're going to look at all 6 verses of Pange Lingua and kind of look at them side by side at the translation. That's kind of a goal of mine for the end of the week, to get that made for you. I think a lot of people would really appreciate that. Get to know that Latin better so that you're understanding the Latin as you're singing it, but you're still able to sing the Latin. That is my hope for all of us. Whew, that was a lot. I hope that helped. I'm sure Veronica could put some comments below or some links to videos that she has that may help you take the next step, or maybe a link to some kind of recording that had the music as well. And I know she told me, I believe it's called, my iPad out here. It may be called the Square Note app. I'm going to try and find that and link that below. She gave that to me before. You can click on a hymn and it's going to sing it to you following the music. That is going to be something that's going to be super helpful as you try and learn what the different symbols mean in Gregorian chant. It may not help you sing it, but it's going to help your brain make those connections between the symbols and the sounds. Okay? God bless you, friends.